Peter Palchik, nice to meet you. You're an Israeli judoka, Israel's most decorated judoka. You're 2 times Olympic medalist from the Paris and Tokyo Olympic Games. Speaking of Paris, does it bring back any good memories to be back here 1 year after the Olympic Games?
Yes, of course. Actually, it's my first visit since the last time here in Paris, and of course it was very overwhelmed. To think about the history I made here, bring the first medal to Team Israel, and of course during such a hard times, in our country, and to do that. So, coming right now, it feels very meaningful. Also because I'm speaking here with the community against anti-Semitism, against all those things, and with everything happening right now, I think it's one of the most important things to do.
For sure. So we'll come back to this later on. But first of all, maybe do you want us to talk about your foundation, the Palchik Foundation that you're the founder of? So it's an innovative initiative aimed at supporting talented young athletes before they reach their breakthrough. Could you explain to us how do you do that concretely? What does your foundation do? Do you wanna? Yeah.
First of all, thank you for meaning that, because it's the first foundation in the world of sports in Israel. Foundation that is not non-governmental, that supports financially young athletes, talented athletes, that they are all already on the way to reach their Olympic goals, but they are like one step behind in terms of success. So they always think about where they can get the money, what they need to do, and some of them they're going to work, and none of this should be happened to athletes that are in their first row towards the goals. So let's take myself as an example. 10 years ago, I did a lot of things that an athlete that's supposed to reach the Olympic goal, the Olympic dream, not supposed to do. I was a bouncer in night shifts in nightclubs. I worked in the supermarket, I did etc. Stuff like that. Eventually, you collapsed. You cannot maintain. You cannot be successful. You cannot train 2 times a day, not sleeping at night, and still bring medals. So that thought was, already planned in my head way before Paris Olympics. But since I came back from Paris back to Israel, I established the foundation. 5 months later, we raised the money and we opened the first class of 2025. We have 10 athletes from judo, gymnastics, and swimming, and it's working. They get the money. We give them 4,500 shekels, which is like 1,500 euro, yeah, every month per year. So, yeah, we do great job on that aspect, and hopefully we will increase the scale, and hopefully we need to bring 20, 30 athletes. It's only a matter of the budget.
Mm-hmm. So you help other athletes, young athletes, to achieve their goal, to reach their goals. But you yourself, as an athlete, to reach this level and the sort of achievements without the foundation, must have required, of course, a lot of work and sacrifices. My question maybe for you is, was it your dream? You said you were a bouncer before. Was it always your dream, though, to reach those achievements?
It was always my dream. Mm-hmm. It was always my dream, and it was always, in the front of whatever wherever I go and whatever I say, for people. I remember myself as a young athlete, 20, 21 years old. Every man I talked with, I told him, I'm gonna be in the Olympics. I'm gonna participate. I want to bring medal. I didn't understand or understood back then what a journey I need to go through to bring that piece of metal on my chest. But But yeah, it was hard times, and I'm happy it's in the past, and hopefully we have the possibility in our hands to create better future for the next generation to come.
Yeah, you say that that was your dream. May I ask you then, like, what's your dream now? That was my next question for you.
That's a good question. I have several new. I won't say dreams because dream is something spiritual. To bring an Olympic medal. Once it was my dream, but very very fast, very quickly, it became my mission, my target, let's say. And when you describe that with yourself, you like coding, yeah. You make the code, another code for yourself, and you transfer the dream part to more sort of logistics. Like that's my mission. What I need to do, I need to do A, B, C to achieve that target. Dream is something like very very big, sometimes even non-achievable things. Yeah. So when you are at the age of 7, 8, yeah, to bring Olympic medal is a dream. But when you are becoming a successful athlete and slowly getting there, it's not a dream. It's becoming a target. So today, I won't say I have a different dream or another dream because I don't. But I have new missions. I have new targets. Also because I retired. I announced about retirement last week, and I have several things in my mind. Some of them I cannot even talk about it, but I will keep my influence in that world, in the sports, in the world of Israeli sports, social world, whatever they need me,
Of course.
and also of course the business part.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about the Paris Olympic Games specifically, since you're in Paris. How was your experience in general? You said it was really hard times. Obviously, it still is very hard times for Israel, especially given the political context of the time. Did you ever feel threatened while you were in France, while you were exposed on the world stage?
A lot, actually. Paris Olympics was the craziest time for me as an athlete, for our country, on the national aspect. But yeah, to come to Paris with so many threats on my life, with thousands of messages I received on daily basis, threats on me, threats on my family's life, and in the beginning it wasn't that serious. I didn't thought that serious. It was that serious, and I said, okay, it's gonna pass through, but slowly, when the time flies and we are getting closer to the Olympic Games, it became or on larger scale, and it became very scary. Regardless, I became the Olympic flag holder for the entire delegation of Israel, and it was very meaningful moment for myself. But it brought a new wave of hate towards me, towards the Israeli team, and we had such a big security. So many security guards here in Paris with us. It was a big deal, but also way before it. I remember November 2023, like 1 month after October 7, 9 months before Paris Olympics, I went to Montpellier for European Championship, and it was the first tournament that I was already surrounded with bodyguards, security, special forces, Israeli, French combined, and it was crazy. I thought to myself, okay, this is how it's gonna look like, on the way to Paris. Oh my God.
Was it new to use this amount of protection and
It
security?
wasn't new because there was several locations on the globe, that Arab countries, we can say, that we were protected, of course, but not on that scale, not that amount of security forces around us publicly, you know. So yeah, that was intense.
And I guess specifically in the Paris Olympics, you're surrounded by many athletes from different nationalities, and to end up being the only nationality that
Yeah.
needs that amount of protection, did it sort
My,
of
my
ruin your
friends were
experience?
laughing, you know. I heard the security guards that didn't leave, you know, my space, and some friends of mine from other countries, they were laughing that they're like Pokemons, you know, walking with me everywhere. But I came to the Olympics with one mission, and it was to bring Olympic medal for Israel, and I didn't care about anything else. You know, I was on the target, on my mission, on personal national mission, both, and whatever it took, you know, whatever it takes, like the song, whatever it takes. I knew I need to get through that.
For sure. And so maybe, yeah, more general question now about like life in general in Israel. Some people may say that the current Israeli society is still traumatized or is learning to live past this the trauma of October 7 of the last 2 years. For you, for your generation, for the kids your foundation also takes care of, is it still difficult after these 2 years? How does it feel?
I think that, of course, it's there. The trauma is there, not only for the athletes, for all people of Israel, you know, and it should be there, because we need to never forget what happened, and we need to cherish our loved ones that are not longer with us, you know, living with us today. But also we need to take everything what happened to us, and we need to make it and use it as a fuel, you know, to motivate us to achieve new goals, new dreams, you know, in sports, in the tech industry, in the, you know, inside of ourselves as a nation, you know, to make the efficient changes, and to bring ourselves to a new era of success, of, you know, innovation, and also on the global stage, you know, to let the world know that we're not the problem. I don't want to say we're the solution, yeah, but we are here, and we are coming for peace, you know. That's my agenda. I know that that's the whole country's agenda. None of us wants war. None of us wants problems. That's for sure.
For sure. And with your foundation, so yeah, you help young athletes go to the Olympics. My question for you: how do you feel about all the boycott around Israeli athletes, and not only athletes, by the way? Sometimes it can be musicians, like any sort of artist and everything. Yeah, how do you feel about that throughout the world? Does it affect you particularly to see that the youth you also attempt to help and you accompany in their career, that these youth might be confronted to these sort of problems? Can you even prepare for this?
It's not the first time that boycotts and harassment and things like that are happening. Of course, way before October 7, it happened with some countries that are not in a normalized and agreements with Israel, such like Iran, Algeria, even, you know, Tunisia, countries, for example. But, you know, the funny things that sometimes the athletes, like, deep down there, you know, colleagues, friends of mine, we're in good relations. But when you get to the mat, let's say in judo, on a grand slam or on competition, doesn't matter. He's not allowed to participate, and he should boycott, you know, the fight, and not to participate, and to invent some injury, or not to make the weight cut. So it's a lose situation especially for that side, because, you know, if someone is boycotting me, even though it's very sad because it's not the way I want to win, but I'm the winner. So it's kind of, it's kind of sad for in the matter of sports. And I think not only the athlete should be penalized, but the government and the federation that's responsible of that should be penalized. And it's happening. The IGF, the International Judo Federation, is penalizing athletes that are boycotting fights intentionally. Yeah. Sometimes they make some weird injury, and like, oh, we cannot make the fight. It's very hard to to see when it's real. And also the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, also they penalized federations and athletes that are not willing to participate in matches against Israel and also against other countries. I think sports should be above everything, above politics, about above wars, above everything, and nothing should interfere in between. It's sports, I always said that sports is the language that everyone speaks, okay? Everyone understands, and it should be the bridge that unites.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe like one last question for you. So I'm thinking about, those Israeli athletes that their opponents refuse to shake their hands with. I was just wondering if you had any comments about that. Is it something that happens more and more, I guess?
It happened to me. It happened to my colleagues, of course. It's also happened once in Olympic Games. It's a very sad when it's happening because, as a judo player, as a judo fighter, I want to kill my opponent. Yeah? When I enter the mat, after I'm bowing to my opponent, I'm bowing to the mat, all the values of respect, of sportsmanship. Right after that, I want to kill my opponent. I want to throw him and to do whatever I can to win. But right after that, I will again show a value of respect, even if I win and even if I lose, doesn't matter. So for me, it's always about values and about respect, mutual respect, about sportsmanship. And when something like that is not happening on the other side, it's very sad. It's that something is missing. And I wish that athletes will understand that sports should be something very, very pure, and not to get involved with politics or agenda or stuff like that. We all have different kind of thinking and agenda, and of course, but when we step to the mat, it should be neutral.
Thank you so much, Peter Palchik. I wish you to have a pleasant stay in Paris once again.
Thank you so much.
And all the best for the future of your career. And
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.